Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Geeks Around. Today is Monday, November 12th, and we are, of course, here to talk about all about the last episode of The Walking Dead. Joining me, as always, my co-host Matt Moore. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
Beautiful day.
Glad to be here.
Beautiful day. There's no snow. I like no snow. Joining us, of course, longtime guest David. I love it when I just now check your lower third.
What is he doing this week?
Lori. That's fantastic. Also joining us, back from spending a little bit of time in Mountain View, California, with the rest of the Google TV ambassador team, Kim Beasley. Welcome back, Kim.
Woo! I'm so excited to be back.
So how was it out there in Mountain View before we get started?
Cold. Windy. But it was gorgeous and beautiful. I loved it.
I recognize that. Glad to have you back. Of course, we are here to talk all about this episode of The Walking Dead. This episode is it wasn't quite as action-packed as, say, last week's episode, Killer Within, but Say the Word had a lot of interesting things going on in it, and we're just going to jump right into it. First of all, Rick had a very interesting way of dealing with his grief in the wake of Lori's demise. What did you all think of that?
Killed a bunch of zombies. And then stumbled upon the one that ate his wife and proceeded to stab him in the stomach a bunch of times.
Yeah. It's like, that's kind of messed up, is like going to find, your wife. It's like, yeah, they were having issues, but it's like, hey, okay, to be fair, last season I was saying that I hope Lori got eaten by a zombie. And turns out I kind of got my wish. So, but now I feel like a dick for having wanted that in the first place.
And she wasn't just torn into like T-Dog, she was completely devoured.
I know, it's like, that zombie straight up had the itis. He's sitting there, oh, that shit was good.
It was like a zombie Thanksgiving.
Motherfucker, but God, I'm full. I'm so full.
He was in a whole nother world. He's like, I can't take no more because that was some good stuff.
It was a zombie Thanksgiving. He was like passed out.
I can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Yep.
It's fun.
Now, do we think the dictatorship is temporarily on hold now?
Oh no, it's like Rick's still in control. It's like I liked why he was, handling his business, handling his grief. His second in command, Daryl, stepped right into things and sorted things out, took care of the baby and all that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now Daryl and holding the baby. That has, I've seen more women talking about Daryl holding the baby and how that really excited them.
Well, there's a saying that women want a cruel man who is gentle only to them, or a mean man who's gentle only to them, and men want a nice girl who's naughty only for him. And this was definitely that case, was a hard man, as it were, being gentle for the baby, and apparently it made women swoon.
Some women. I was like,
what,
really?
You're saying that you weren't swooning?
Nope, it didn't swoon me. I guess because I'm not really that much into the bad boy kind of thing, and I think that I just thought, oh, just a bad boy, just getting his happiness on. I don't know. It didn't make me swoon. It really didn't.
Okay. But it's like, it was pretty cool just seeing him step up and, kind of being, the godfather, the cool uncle, whatever you'd want to call him in this particular case.
I agree. It was a good thing.
Yeah, our man Daryl's definitely holding it down. Meanwhile, I was like, my prayers have finally been answered. Michonne has her sword back. That's it for Geeks Around this week. That's all I really had to say. Michonne got a sword back. Wait a second. Okay, all right. It's like we have another guest joining us here. We have Rob trying to join us. Like, we're going to go ahead and bring him in to see that his camera ain't on. Okay.
See,
While we're waiting for Rob, I wanted to bring up something because on The Talking Dead, the director had said Carol was dead, and that was the scene where Daryl was laying down a flower
oh,
in the
you
grave.
heard that too.
But DeAno thinks she's still alive, and he was going to explain why.
Yeah, I think she's still alive. It's like I understand that that they had this thing where Daryl went up to Carol's grave and whatnot and went ahead and laid her to rest and all that. But I don't think she's dead, and the reason why is because after the last week's episode, the actors that played T-Dog and the actress that played Lori, they had them both on this wide press tour, going ahead and talking to people, telling about their experiences and things of that nature, working on the show. As a matter of fact, I'll very likely have an interview up here on Geeks It Around later on this week with Lori, but they didn't have the actress that played Carol being a part of that.
Mm.
That leaves.
That's interesting.
I don't
And
think she's
they didn't
dead.
have it
I really don't.
And they didn't have her in the last week on the Walking Dead thing. They didn't mention her either.
I don't think she's dead. Or could this be one of those Sophie things?
Oh, it better not be. It's like, I mean, for me, they can't really spend too much time with this. Is she dead? Is she alive? Or whatever, and not have some sort of resolution. They have to do this quickly, otherwise, yes, we are going to end up with another freaking Sophia thing going on, and you guys now know how much I hate that.
It's gone on too long as it is. Okay, it's time
Carl,
for them to either show her dead or show her alive.
I was going to say that Carl did acknowledge her when he was thinking of names for the baby. He did say Carol as if she was dead.
Well, yeah, that's simply because they haven't found her yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say is that they have her pretty much dead. I mean, they made 3 graves. They said a third of our group is gone in one day. I mean, they said quite a few things that would imply that Carol is dead. But if they haven't found her body, then maybe she's not.
Well, they did not show her at all, so it could be that they don't know where she is, but they've at least presumed she's dead. At the very least.
You have to also think about this. When Sophie was missing the entire time, they never alluded to her being dead, even though she was already dead. With Carol missing, they are alluding to her being dead. I think she's alive.
It's very, very possible. It's like we're going to go ahead. It's like we have Rob joining us now. Let's go ahead and bring him in and see what he has to think about that. What's up, Rob? Welcome. It's like about fucking time you showed up, late bastard. Now we can't hear you. All right, well, Rob gets his audio issues sorted out. It's like let's go back into the events of Woodbury and see that actually a lot happened on that side. Is like, I mean, like I said, Michonne got her sword back. That was fantastic for me to see because that's all I really wanted.
She discovered it back.
Locked up.
She did not take long to use it.
Oh yeah.
She's like, oh, goody.
She was like, I liked it. She opened up that cage and she stood back and drew her sword. It was like, come on, bitches, let's go, let's dance. She fucked them up. Go on, Michonne, with your bad self.
So tell me this. Why do you think that Michonne was let go and Andrea wasn't?
Well, Andrea could have
left. Trying to stop Michonne.
Yeah,
Andrea is okay in all caps. Stupid.
Okay, but she chose not to leave. She could have left.
She chose to die.
I don't know if she chose to die in so many words. It's like, I mean, she's not dead.
Okay, I'll admit she chose to have me want her die. Okay, I'll go ahead and admit that part.
Once again, what a surprise! Kim wants all the female characters dead.
No, I don't.
Kim
Have you ever heard me
Kim
say
is
I
a self-hating woman.
I am not.
All the
Have you
women
ever
dead.
heard me? Have you ever heard me say
You
that I
wanted all the women
wanted?
dead. It's like you forget I was there with you as you were watching, all these seasons of The Walking Dead. Every single female that
Only
was
the
ever
stupid
on the show,
ones.
he's like,
Only
oh,
the
she needs to
stupid
die.
ones.
She needs to die. She needs to die. She
Lori
needs to
and
die. Bitches are
Andrea.
stupid.
Lori and Andrea are the only two that and the one sister who's still alive. Those are the only three that I've said they must die.
Oh yeah, the only females I said must die are the
Well,
only major
only
females
most
in
of
the
the
entire show.
women.
That's all.
Well, only most
Lori
of the
and
women.
Andrea.
Yeah,
I'm just
And
curious.
the one that wanted to commit suicide. They
I'm
want to die
curious.
and let them.
Why does the third daughter have to die? Why is
you
the
asking
daughter
me?
one that's-
This was back in season 2 when Maggie's younger sister was contemplating suicide, and Kim pretty much wrote off. She's like, fuck this bitch, kill her, die, you bitch.
I was like, if
die,
you want to die, let them die.
die.
No, let me explain where I'm coming from. The more that they say I want to die and they keep them from dying, the more it is dragging down the group. If they want to go, let them go. Like Michonne was like, let me up out of here. Let her out. Let her go.
Well,
She knows what
Michonne's
she's
a special
facing.
case. Michonne's a special case in that she's figured out more than I think anyone else how
Oh,
to
yeah.
survive in the zombie apocalypse. She has honed herself as you saw her in this week's episode. That woman is a weapon. She is the walker's worst nightmare. Michonne does not fuck around.
And to think she was only a Starbucks employee before the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, stop. Are you serious?
Actually, she was a lawyer, but...
I was getting ready to say.
Oh, wait a second. Now we're getting the spoiler territory. Omit that from the records. In the comic books, she was a lawyer, but we don't know where they're going to be going in the show right here. So
I gotta ask the question. I know it's not until the end of the show, but I just want to hear you guys tell me. Who's on the phone?
Avon.
I knew you were going to say that.
No, I was like, see, it's like, well, I have a theory. See, it's like because of all of these, I'm sure that the person that called Rick was representing the Republican National Party and trying to get Rick Grimes support for Mitt Romney. Because, they're not calling me anymore. Thank God they're not calling my black ass anymore. They got to be calling somebody. So it's like, I guess they calling Rick. Who else is there?
That makes perfect sense, DeAno.
Makes perfect sense to me too. It's like that's what I'm talking about.
Yay, we've got Rob.
Yes.
Okay.
Finally, we have Rob and all of his issues and shit sorted out.
Well, like you said, the show's a train wreck every week. I'm just keeping it running.
There you go.
Do you think it was the guy from season 1 who Rick was
thought.
with before the group?
That's my thought.
Well, it would be possible, but how in the hell would he know the phone number for the fucking prison?
Yeah, that's true.
How would he know that they were even at the fucking prison? It's like the last communication
Dude.
that Rick sent his way, they were waiting just outside of it.
Obviously, a random zombie just picked up a phone and dialed a number.
I would like to know how the phone lines are still working, especially after they shut down the generators.
Oh, yeah, didn't they say they weren't working before?
Yeah.
I think Rick's
but
imagining
it's a
things.
rotary phone.
Maybe it's coming
Doesn't
from...
need-
Yeah,
electricity.
hallucinations actually seem like the best explanation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it follows the comic strip, it's a hallucination. But with them, they don't always follow the comic strip. And it's a rotary phone, which means that it doesn't need electricity.
Yeah, but it's okay. Yeah, it doesn't need electricity, but at least the line's still up.
Hmm Who knows? There may be a secret phone line somewhere. Who knows what they're gonna bring up? The reason for that phone ringing.
It's the prison.
I'm
It
sorry,
might
there's
be an
background
internal
noise.
system that has nothing to do with the phone company.
Someone has a TV on. or
Wasn't the
something?
prisoners that found that out first, though? Or weren't? Oh, wait, they were locked up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it does seem to be. Oh, it could be. It's like maybe like it's an internal it's an internal prison system or something like that. You never. Maybe it's Carol. It's like, hey, you motherfuckers, come get me! I'm trapped, goddammit! I'm not dead!
Behind me!
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it could be that. It's like, but it's like, then again, it's like, it's all like speculation at this point. But it's like, I mean, Andrea makes the decision to stay in Woodbury, and finally Michonne's like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm gone because I'm not an idiot.
Here's the strategy that I see. You separate them, and therefore, you with them separate, they are not as strong as if they're together. I think that's why Michonne was allowed to leave, because taking on Michonne, this weapon, we already know from the previews that Michonne's going to be attacked. Much easier to attack Michonne when she's by herself than if she's got backup.
But let's be clear about this. Andrea was not leaving. She could have left.
Andrea ain't going to back nobody up.
Well, it's like, I think Andrea has the kind of thing for the governor right now, and it's like, I mean, and to be fair to Andrea, I mean, 8 months of being on the road, not knowing where your next meal is going to come from, you know, sitting there struggling to survive at all times. I mean, the appeal of, you know, this full-on city, this community that seems to be thriving, and there's food, and it's like, I mean, hell, they can even throw a party and have, you know, cold...
Honestly, I want to live where the governor is. It looks fucking awesome. It's like Gladiator with zombies.
You know what it boiled down
Roman
to?
times with zombies.
Mm-hmm.
I think it boiled down to Andrea being attracted to another bad boy. She has a thing for bad boys. We know that. And on top of that, she's thinking that she's going to have more security with staying with the people than going with Michonne. She's a scary cat. That's why I said she would not have Michonne's back at all.
Well, I mean, it's like... No, go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say, I think she was seduced, not by a man, but by an ideal. I think she was seduced by the cold drinks and the warm beds and etc. and things like that. And I think that, like any human being in this particular situation, that appeal was just too much to turn away from.
That's
and the
true.
idea that she was ever going to leave with Michonne from the night she slept in a warm bed is almost laughable.
I'd agree with that 100%.
Same.
It's like, I mean, just that kind of appeal of, you know, just having some sort of chance to go back to how things used to be.
Just general safety, too.
Society, and to not have to worry about walkers every day, and, you know, not being able to take a shower or a bath or having to sleep out in the mud. I mean, come on, that is a tremendous appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an appeal, and it's also it's going to be her downfall.
Oh,
It's going to be a big downfall because her eyes are slowly being opened, and once they are fully open, she's going to go, dang, what crap do I have myself in? I should have gone with Michonne when I had the opportunity. But I think Michonne is going to hang around because she knows she's going to have to go back and save her ignorant butt.
I actually agree with that. I think that Andrea, that Michonne has quite a relationship with Andrea at this point. It's like, I mean, you can't spend 8 months with a person and not have this kind of association.
She's like a sister.
So it's like, I think that Michonne is definitely gone. She's gone from the city just to get, you know, outside of everyone's eyes. But I don't think she's really going anywhere until she gets Andrea out of there.
Camping right outside the doors.
Do you think we're going to have a scene where she actually does travel far and then she turns back towards the city and she goes, damn it, and goes back?
Most likely.
Probably. And some bad times are in for Michonne coming up.
But okay, now I know what you're talking about, David, because
I do too.
we're the only two people here that have actually read the comic book. But it's like
I haven't read them, but I've read the synopsis.
I am speaking right now because I'm trying not to give away any spoilers. So speaking to those that have read the comics, those of our viewers out there, I'm going to have this quick conversation with David. We're gonna have this kind of in code, okay?
Wait, I haven't read the comics, but you just told me.
But okay. The thing that happened, that thing that's supposed to happen, with Michonne. Do you think
Andrea.
that's more likely to actually happen with Andrea at this point than it is Michonne?
Yep.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, because we've seen them switch things up in this show before. I mean, for instance, going way back in the comics, it was actually Carl that killed Shane, and then it was Rick that killed Shane as a walker. They completely reversed that. It was what happened in the comics to Dale. In the comics happened to Herschel in the show. So who's to say that what was supposed to happen, what happened with Michonne in the comics, now doesn't happen to Andrea instead?
It is going to happen to Andrew with her stupid behind. I'm sorry. Did I keep calling her stupid?
Furthermore, do you think AMC has the balls to let them do it?
Yes.
I don't know.
You don't have to see everything on screen.
Well, yeah, it's like I'm not saying it's going to be some sort of like.
I have a feeling they would take like maybe more of an implied route than actually showing anything graphic.
All right. So I thought, all right, now for those of you viewers who read the comic books, you guys know what we're talking about. Do not leave anything in the comments or anything like that. I'm not trying to spoil it for anyone else. That was just for you guys so that you know where our minds are at as reviewing this. For those that haven't read the comics, all I have to say is stay tuned because shit is about to go down.
Okay, so I had another. You know, I'm full of questions as always. As I'm watching, I'm sending messages to DeAno. Really?
Pretty much.
One of the comments I made to DeAno earlier is that Andrea reminds me of the girls that scream on TV, that you scream at on TV or in the movies, telling them not to go in a dark house because you know something bad is getting ready to happen. and I keep sensing that she's getting ready to have her eyes wide open and she's gonna be saying, I should have gone with Michonne. And I'm gonna be like, really? That was a stupid move.
Wait, I now know where the phone call. I was reading on Michonne and I ended up finding out who the phone call's from.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's see your theory. Go for it.
What's your theory?
It's Lori.
That's one theory.
No, that's it in the comics.
Because it's in the comics doesn't mean.
Spoiler alert.
Now this is why you're doing the Dexter.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
alert.
but this whole show needs a spoiler alert.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, okay, but it's like, I mean, Lori died slightly differently in the comic book than she did here. Like,
it could still be a hallucination that she's calling him.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hallucination.
Matt, this is why you're doing the Dexter show.
He's spoiling everything.
But it's like, yeah, it could very well be a hallucination or something.
I hope he doesn't host a Game of Thrones one. There'll be lots of angry comments there.
Nah.
People will be outside his house with pitchforks.
Are you going to take this shit sitting down, Matt?
Matt Moore's going to spoil the Red Wedding in the first episode of the series.
Who it was. I was not going to say it, and then DeAno asked me to say who I think it was. He's read the comics.
Okay.
He should have known better.
See, this is the thing. You could have had your opinion without saying, that's the way it happened in the comics. That's what the spoiler alert is. You said that's the way it happened in the comics.
Spoiler alert.
I'm just sitting back and watching at this point. This shit's entertaining as hell. I feel like one of our viewers, like, I'm going to grab some popcorn. Like, this shit.
Well, I feel justified considering that it was me who said it was a hallucination in the first place, even before knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Even though I knew you said that, and I haven't read the comics, but I have read synopsis of the comics. I knew what was coming, but in the future,
Tim Beasley read Walking Dead for Dummies.
You know what? Shut the blankety blank up. I didn't read the Walking Dead for Dummies. I read Wikipedia now.
That's what I said.
Oh, you know what?
Somebody probably has it all wrong on Wikipedia. Just wrong on anything.
I'm gonna go edit that Wikipedia page right now.
Yeah, we should all collectively do that.
Spaceship appeared, and fucking Vulcans came out, and then came
Voldemort
Doctor
came.
Who.
And next week I'll be like, Doctor Who, bitches.
You know what? Y'all need some help.
And it all seemed lost for Rick and his gang until Tyrion Lannister appeared.
We need another female to balance out all this testosterone floating around.
Oh, don't worry. It's like we will have another female. It's like Ashley Escada has been. Her schedule has been off, but I promise you guys out there, we will have Tech Foolery's Ashley Escada back here before the end of this year for the Walking Dead episode. She was very excited about us doing the Walking Dead episodes. We will be seeing her again. So that should settle your thing. You're gonna have all the estrogen you want. Only you might find Ashley's more on our side.
You know what? I don't know if there are really any sides. It's more of opinions.
Let's see what else we got in this episode. The one thing I definitely wanted to comment on was when they were talking about a name for the new baby, and it was almost kind of heartbreaking to see Carl just
rattling off people that died.
Exactly, just throwing out names of people who have died since this whole thing has started. And
It started with Sophie, didn't he?
No.
How come he didn't suggest T-Dog as a name? Is he racist?
So 2 or 3.
Really?
You did notice that was not the first mention of Sophie in the episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the nursery, there were the handprints, and they focused in on a handprint that said Sophie.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone missed that, but
I saw it.
Okay,
I didn't see that.
I'm going to admit to you guys, and I didn't realize this, and I'm so glad I watched The Talking Dead, that the zombie that had the big stomach at the very end,
I had no idea what was up with that guy. I was laughing at him all.
I did not realize that they were alluding to the fact that he ate Lori. I didn't realize that
That's
until
like the
I
first
watched
thing-
Talking Dead.
I just thought it was.
There was a big trail of blood from where Lori's body was leading.
I just thought it was one bloated ass zombie.
I didn't know that was where Lori's body was. I thought that was a tooth he picked up.
Did he have to be wearing a fucking sign that says "I ate Lori"? What
Yes.
the fuck?
When I saw his stomach was
The thing he
extended,
picked
I
up
was like,
was the bullet.
his stomach is extended like Lori was pregnant. You know, I started wondering. I was like, nah. And then when I watched The Talking Dead, that's when it all the pieces fell together, came together.
If that's
So, no,
true,
I
then
did
how
not
could
know
it be
that
Lori
off the bat.
calling on the phone?
No, it's pretty sure it's a hallucination, Rob.
All right, good. Now we're all on the same page.
It definitely could be. It's like, and I'm sure we'll see a little bit more about that next week. Anybody got any wild speculation before we head out?
I always have wild speculations.
Go for it.
I'm gonna let others go first.
I don't have any. I'm not sure where the show's going from here.
I just still think it's a hallucination from the beginning. I still think that.
I have a wild speculation, a kind of boring one though.
Okay, go for it.
I think Andrea is not going to hook up with the governor.
Not. She got.
Not going to hook up with the governor, or not going to voluntarily hook up with the governor?
That's what I was going to say.
The governor and Merle at the same time.
Oh God.
No, I think
Uncut.
she's actually going to not sex up the governor.
You want
Okay.
to know one of my speculations now?
Like I said, it's boring, but it is a wild speculation.
It really is at this point.
I think Merle is going to help Andrea escape.
Ooh, now that is wild speculation. Okay.
And then
'Cause
he
it
can
kinda-
redeem himself and rejoin Rick's group. See?
I don't know if he wants to go join the group, Rick's group, but he has a thing for Andrea, and I think he may help her after she goes through her new experience. I think he may help her escape somehow. Either he will kill her to get her out of her misery, or he will help her get out of there.
That's an interesting theory.
That really is okay. I like that. I like that.
I think I would like outside of the box, like Andrew still being alive.
Well, at least this week you actually know what the fuck his name is. I'll give you
You know I'm gonna remember that because I can say I told you so on that one, big time.
She said it.
Yeah.
I said it.
She
I
said
said
it.
it. I really, really said it. So and I already said Michonne is not gonna leave Andrea behind. She's gonna somehow save her if they don't kill her off.
Mm-hmm.
Carol, they're going to find her, but she's going to be so out of her mind that she's really not going to be any good to anyone for a while.
And that's my only limited wild speculation for this week, that Carol's still definitely alive. I realize...
Yeah, they never showed her death on screen.
Exactly. It's like...
The fact that me and my brother still don't know if she's dead or not kind of proves that they're just trying to hide that she's still alive.
Exactly. It's like you don't take a character that's been here from the beginning like Carol and kill her off screen and just...
Right.
Okay, well, she's dead. I mean, that's just
That's
something...
only acceptable if it's T-Dog, and they didn't even give him that treatment.
Didn't they kill... Well, no, they killed Sophia on screen. But they had her change off screen.
Yeah,
Okay,
but it's like,
okay.
you had the verification that she was that she was dead. At least, is like, I mean, I don't think they do the same thing with Carol.
Mm-mm.
It's like, I mean, that just wouldn't make any sense. It's like, I mean, you can't do that with a character that's been that much a part of the group and that much part of, you know, just the storyline of the show.
True.
You give characters a proper send off, and she didn't have one, so she's still alive. That's just the way I'm looking at it.
I agree with that.
It's like,
Makes
you got
sense
a
to
lot of
me.
speculation for us, Rob?
No, I just thought that it's a hallucination still from the beginning. That's the only thing I got, which seems to be true, thanks to Mr. Spoiler Alert here.
Yeah, okay, I'll buy that. Any wild speculation any of you viewers have, go ahead and leave them in the comments. We'll respond to them next week. Anyone got anything else before we close things out?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope,
Well,
nope,
I think
no.
we're pretty much
Did anybody mention the dictatorship in this episode? But we gotta mention that every week.
I did it right at the beginning.
Alright,
I
good.
think we dinged that bell a little bit earlier on. All right, everybody, that has been another episode of Geeks Around. Feel free to join us in at any time. We are at geeksaround.com. We will be back next week for our next episode of The Walking Dead, or if you are watching this live, we will be back in about a little bit over an hour and a half for our discussion of Dexter, which will be hosted by Matt Moore. Until next week, see ya.
See ya.